It's true of all things. It's one of the nice things about these laws. They are so consistent that once you get the hang of it, there's no confusion ever about anything. The only question is, what do I want and what disc do I have to get on to get it? Most important question that we'll ever ask you. What do you want and what disc do you have to get on to get it? And when we say, what do you want? We want the answer to be happiness, not a car. What do you want and what disc do you have to get on to get it? I want happiness. Because all the stuff will come. That's just a given. But what do you want and what disc do you have to get on to get it? Well, I want, Abraham, I've thought about this a lot, and I want revenge. That's what I want. What do you want? Well, I want hope. Really? Really? Well, I want overwhelmment and frustration. We believe you because that's the way you talk all day. I've got too much to do. Nobody ever helps me. Am I the only one around here who ever does anything? Does anybody ever pay attention? It's how you're choosing your discs. What do you want? What disc do you want? What do you want? And what disc do you have to get on to get it? So what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Well, do you get the question we're asking? What do you want? What do you want? Knowing. What do you want? Passion. What do you want? Fun. What do you want? Clarity. What do you want? Invincibility. What do you want? Spontaneity. What do you want? Guidance. What do you want? Fulfillment. What do you want? Satisfaction. What do you want? Eagerness. What do you want? Passion. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Because you can have it. You can have it. You just have to identify that that's what you want. And it will bring everything else that you've ever wanted that's in your vortex. But you got to go for the emotion, because that's what you have control over now. Right now. You don't have control over the conditions. You don't have really even control over how fast the momentum will produce the result for you. But you have control over the discs that you choose now. And since we've been having this conversation, it's been so much easier for those who have been deliberately applying it to catch themselves under 17 seconds when they've chosen an unwanted disc. And you know what happens when you get on a disc and you only stay for 16 seconds? It doesn't count. Someone said, "What are you doing, Esther?" "I'm flipping discs." She started counting down. The other day she said to someone, "I have to tell you something, but I only have 16 seconds to tell you, so listen up, because I'm going to be talking really, really fast, because I got a lot to say and I only have 16 seconds. Oh, that's it." Really good. If you don't have goals of your own, you become part of someone else's goal. So if you've been getting up and you've been choosing the high disc, and you've been getting up and you've been choosing the high disc, and you're used to things unfolding nicely for you, and you already know where you are, the abundance is already flowing, you know what that experience is worth to you, so you're already in vibrational alignment with it, and you walk in, now you control the momentum. You see what we're getting at? If you really, 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 really wanted that, if you had not been ambivalent, if you really wanted it and you were really clear about what you were willing to pay, it is our promise to you that they would meet your price. You could control the momentum of that. But you've got to control the momentum when you're co-creating with someone else. Before you go further, we want to talk about that feeling of coming to a decision and then coming down from it. The idea of buyer's remorse sort of comes into that, where you feel excited or compelled to do something, and then later you feel like maybe you made a mistake. So we want to talk about that in regards to these discs, because let's say, for example, you first wake up. When those early impulses come before there is any resistance, those are good impulses to follow. If you awaken with something on your mind, it's usually an idea that is inspired from that high-flying disc. So when an idea is inspired from a high-flying disc, it only continues to feel like a good idea when you're on that disc. So if then something happens and now you're moving around in different emotional circles, then sometimes what you committed to when you felt here doesn't feel right when you're here. So we would just ask ourselves a singular question. What disc do I believe I was on when I made my initial response? Let's say that your friend is talking about hardship. It feels off the subject, but not really. Your friend is talking about hardship and hard times and is in need of something, and you've visited there long enough and their vibration is setting the tone. Whoever has the most momentum, it doesn't matter what disc it is, but whoever has the most momentum on the disc they're on will dominate the co-creational experience. So let's say they've got a lot of momentum going relative to hardship, and you feel inspired. Now, this surprises people because most people think that they will only be inspired from this high-flying disc that's up there as a vibrational match to the vortex. But we say you can be inspired to hit somebody in the nose. But it's not from that high-flying disc that happens. So let's say you're inspired to help someone when you are feeling bad for their hardship. Well, next time you're on that high-flying disc, you're going to feel the discord between that behavior. So the question isn't whether you should help someone or not. The question is, where are you when the impulse comes? We would be asking ourselves that a bit. That's really a helpful thing to contemplate, given all that you already know about law of attraction, don't you think? What disc was I on when I got that impulse? What disc was I on when I proposed to that woman? In other words, is it really the feeling of freedom, the feeling of fun, or has it become just getting them to school because there's other stuff you got to do? Sometimes. Are you thinking about finances? Are you thinking about effort? Are you thinking about the things that you need to do? Are you going down your things to do today list? In other words, so what we're getting at is the very thing that could be the cornerstone or the basis, the one subject out of 10 that you could choose that would put you on that high-flying disc doesn't hold you there very long, because that's not where you focus, because your active mind makes you want to analyze everything else in your life. And if we could just convince all of you, especially you, if we could just convince you that your work is one simple, you might even say simple, silly thing. Your work is one simple thing, and that is choose the disc. Choose it and choose it and choose it and choose it and choose it. Because you understand you've already put all of the requests in the vortex. You understand step 1 has been taken care of. You understand that law of attraction and source energy have already gathered up all the cooperative components, and that the vibrational reality already exists. And now you understand that you have one singular work, and that is to find the frequency. Well, what subjects help you find the frequency the most easily? Of all the things that you said to us, walking your kids to school was it. And it only lasted for a minute, and you didn't stay there very long, and you were all over the place on all kinds of other subjects that from our point of view are irrelevant to the only thing that is relevant, which is which disc you're choosing. Right. You see. So sometimes we love you so much, you'd rather be focused and concentrated on a negative disc than simple and free-flowing on a positive disc. In other words, if we say to you, enjoy the sunrise, you say, yeah, we get one every day, bro. In other words, the beauty of your sunrises and what it means in terms of what your planet's doing in its revolving and its proximity to other planets. Just the trying to softly comprehend the perfection of what all of that means. If you just use something like that to focus on, or some cute little dog that you're passing along the way, or the way your children feel when they are going to school, how they feel. Suck that energy out of them.
I know.
Focus upon their joy and let it be your focal point. And don't clutter your mind with the erroneous, unnecessary, compromising, resistance-filled details that you have been justifying your experience with for all of these years. None of that is relevant. 3 things are relevant. What you've asked for, that's done. What's been amassed, that's done. How you going to get it? Well, I'm going to worry about this, and I'm going to worry about this, and I'm going to worry about this, and I'm going to think about this, and I'm going to stew about this, and I'm going to fuss about this. And we're exaggerating, but you are fine-tuning. And you have the ability to clean up your vibration in way more ways than you are applying. You have the ability to stay there. You do. You have the ability to stay there. You don't have one excuse in the world. You got a whole lot of things you think are your excuses, but you don't have one excuse in the world to choose things that don't feel good when you've got all of those things that do feel good. But you got to practice them so they come more easily. Because wherever you've been hanging out, that's what comes more easily, because the momentum that law of attraction provides makes it come more easily. So the question of the day, of the lifetime, of the universe, the question that we want to help you ask and answer is, oh wait, we're out of time. The question that we want you to focus upon is, what could I do to get myself there? What could I think about? That's the only question. What could I find to think about that would put me right now for 17 seconds in this high-flying, good-feeling place? And as you find those thoughts, what could I do to keep that momentum going? Just find it. Law of attraction will do the work. Just find a thought. Oh, that's all. Yeah, law of attraction will do the work. Law of attraction will help you find another thought like it, another thought like it, till you've got momentum, till you have knowing, till you know what you really want. And we know what you want. We know what you all want. You want control of your vibration and never-ending choices with which to apply your focus. That's what you want. You don't want to get it all done any more than you want to eat all of the food that you will eat for the rest of your life today. You think you do. Don't go to the Cheesecake Factory. They'll try to make you believe that. You don't want to eat it all today. You want it to come incrementally. You want it to sustain and nurture you forevermore. And that's the way you want the contrast to sustain and nurture you. You want the contrast to sustain you. You want it to inspire you. You want it to help you to evolve. You want the contrast to help you to decide. You want the contrast to help you find preferences. But what you want above all other things, you want to exercise your ability to focus. You want to choose the disc. Not focus the concept, not focus the idea, not convince anybody else of it. To focus the energy. That's what you want. You want to focus the energy, which just means you want to feel good. Yeah. We've been saying for a long time. Everything that everybody wants, whether it's a material object, a pile of money, a relationship, a circumstance, an event, everything you want is because you think you will feel better in the experiencing of it. And if we could just convince you that you can find the feeling first and practice it until you own it, until you know it. Now, law of attraction will just flesh it out with all of the details as you realize and experience the revelations and the coordinations and the synchronizations and the cooperations. Law of attraction and rendezvous are the same word. Creating is rendezvousing. So deliberate creation is establishing the vibration that provides the rendezvous that I prefer.